Talking about starting early, there is one application you applied to really early. Right? And, why I remember that, and I've mentioned that a few times, one of the things that we learn about people in this process is how do they react, either when things go well or sometimes that things don't go well, right? You work with them, but when the results start to come in, the real personality also starts to show in some time. What I felt about you is, yes, there was disappointment. There has to be. But the process never stopped. You kept chipping away, you kept moving forward. So I always wanted to ask you, and I never got a chance to ask you this. How did you process it? How did you process that setback? Because if you look at the early decision of that school, the admit rate is far higher than others because it's the early decision.
Yeah.
And not even getting an interview invite might have you sort of question a lot of things, move away from the process. How did you process it, internalize it? How did you keep moving forward? Because that's what I saw. You just kept at it.
Yeah, I would not want to patronize here, but I would tell you the truth, and the genuine truth from the bottom of my heart is I always wanted to go to the States for an MBA. There was never a point in my life that I would want to go to this school or that school. So, and from my behavior of starting early, it also stems from my not so good habit, which is I'm a little impatient to things. Hence, I started early and hence got that very early reject. So I think that it always stems from starting early and being impatient. But how did I process it was I went back again to the drawing board to understand why was I applying to business schools in the first place, to again rejuvenate my motivation, my self-motivation, that I wanted to go to the States to do an MBA, to experience a culturally different lifestyle. That's your broad goal statement. Now, if that particular school doesn't help you achieve, there are a lot of other schools, and there are always a lot of other rounds to apply to other schools. So that particular incident, and then from an application point of view, I also spoke to a couple of friends as to what's the missing part in the entire application. Is it my GMAT? Because it's average for most of the schools. While it's good, it's average compared to all the other Indian applicants, you would say, and all the schools as well. So is that a point where I'm lagging, or is it my application altogether? And one piece of advice that I received that I took to my heart was, which was given by, I think, a friend or you, I don't remember. Go back to the application and read every statement, every line of your entire application, be it SACV. And if that can be replicated by any person in the world or a set of people in the world, then that statement doesn't really truly define you or gives yourself a genuine picture, which I did a lot when applying to that school, because I was in a rush, because I thought these statements were powerful, but these were generic powerful statements and not personal powerful statements. So I think that made a difference from applying early, getting rejected early, to actually thinking through and then applying for the other schools and sticking to those schools was a really, I took a stone to my heart that no, I'll stick to my strategy of applying to the schools I had decided, because they really truly reflected myself and were compatible with what my goals were. So I think, yeah, those were the 2-3 things that kept me motivated.